I'm a 22-year-old woman, and this is the story of how I discovered my boyfriend, who I've been with for 5 months now, was cheating on me. It all started last August when I met him through a dating app. At first, we talked casually, and as we got to know each other, he began sharing parts of his past. One of the things he revealed was that he had made out with a coworker who was married and had 2 kids. He claimed it happened because he was drunk at the time. I didn't judge him when he told me this because, honestly, I never expected us to end up dating. But as we talked more, he admitted something else, that he made out with the same coworker again, only this time, they weren't drunk. She's 10 years older than him. At the time, he was 25, and she was 35. He mentioned that she had a crush on him despite being married, and to make things worse, he admitted he also had a crush on her. Fast forward to September, and he asked me out on a date. We met after his work shift around 9 p.m., went to a movie even though we ended up watching a different one than planned because we were late, and took a walk afterward. It was getting late, and he told me he couldn't go home because his gate closed at midnight and wouldn't reopen until 6 a.m. I told him I could go home, but I didn't want to leave him stranded, so we decided to check in at a hotel. At the hotel, we spent some time talking and playing a mobile game together. One thing led to another, and we ended up sleeping together. The next morning, he woke me up and said he needed to go to work. He hugged me goodbye and messaged me when he got there, which I didn't expect. It made me think he wasn't just looking for a hookup. Over time, we started developing feelings for each other, and by our second meeting, we officially became a couple. I didn't know much about him then, so I started stalking his social media accounts, just to get an idea of who he was. That's when I came across the profile of the coworker he had mentioned, the one he had made out with. I noticed he left a heavy black heart reaction on every single one of her pictures. At first, I brushed it off, thinking maybe they were just close friends. But as time went on, it became a habit of mine to check her account, and I saw that it also became a habit of his to like her posts. In December, I brought up the story he told me about making out with her, and I told him it had been bothering me, especially since it wasn't just a one-time, drunken mistake. He assured me that things were awkward between them after what happened and that he'd been avoiding her ever since. Then, on December 28th, I invited him to my cousin's 18th birthday party. While I was busy participating in the entourage, I noticed him on his phone, not even looking at me. I tried to ignore it, but the moment stuck with me. The real turning point came in January. We were on another date and ended up spending the night together. I fell asleep but woke up around 3 a.m. with a nagging feeling that something was off. I tried to ignore it, but the urge to check his phone was overwhelming. Eventually, I gave in, and what I found broke me. He was chatting with the same coworker. In one message, he told her she was getting prettier and assured her he wasn't drunk, so he wasn't lying. Seeing that felt like a knife to the heart. I didn't confront him right away, but I took screenshots of their conversations. The inner Sherlock Holmes in me kicked in, and I started piecing things together. I remembered how he said she was 10 years older than him and how they made out when she was 35. I looked up her social media and found a post with the hashtag 36, confirming her age and the timeline of their interactions. Everything he told me about their past was true, and it made me question what else he might be hiding. When I confronted him later, I noticed that their message thread had been wiped clean. He had deleted all their sweet messages before giving me access to his account. That confirmed my suspicions even more. Now I'm stuck in this spiral of doubt and pain. I'm emotionally invested in him. I've given him gifts, lent him money, and paid for some of our dates. But I can't shake the feeling that he's not being honest with me. Every time I try to bring it up, he accuses me of trying to start a fight. With Valentine's Day approaching, I'm questioning whether we'll even make it that far. I wrote this because I needed to let it out. I'm hurting in silence, and I don't know how to move forward. Am I going insane, or does everything I've discovered make sense? Should I hold on and hope things get better, or should I leave and deal with the heartbreak of losing someone I care so deeply about? I feel like staying will hurt just as much as leaving.